going to a completely different topic now, which I'm also very curious about, is non-lethal weapon development. Sounds a little scary, but I think we'll unpack that a little bit more now. So can you tell me what non-lethal weapon development is and what it has to do with smell?
Well, non-lethal weapon development is any activity that is meant to provide a way to alter human behavior, but do so without harming the individual. And so,
So it's not so
we have,
scary.
yeah, we have a lot of ways of altering people's activities and behavior that can hurt them. But in this arena, we want to do things, we want to modify behavior in ways that don't harm a person, but may make them want to stop what they're doing, leave an area, not enter an area, things like that. And many governments around the world have been working on this because it's a sane and safe way of attacking or approaching many different situations. But in my case, there were questions about how universal any odor could be across broad populations, for example, culturally across the world, not just within the United States. And it is a question that has been asked and never satisfactorily answered, because unlike the taste system, where infant humans and infant mammals are born with inborn preferences and aversions. So every mammal will avidly lick or suck something sweet shortly after birth, but they will reject anything that tastes bitter until they get much older and realize that it's not harmful. And so we don't have that in the olfactory system. We don't have any evidence that we are born liking or disliking any particular odors. The available evidence is that it's all based on our own experience. And so that's why the question of, is there a universal malodor that could be deployed to alter people's behavior, is so interesting, because given the evidence that we have that everything is learned, then we have to look for things that would be common and universal, that everyone would have had the experience. And that really restricts the range of odors that you're going to be able to use.
Yeah, and if you compare that with sound, I know that there are some places where they'll put that really high-pitched noise that like only people under 20 can hear or something, so to deter young people from crowding in certain places. So like something like that, then okay, this is kind of a universal sound that people don't want to hear or certain groups don't want to hear. So that doesn't work so well with smells, I guess.
It's a little more difficult to find something that would motivate everyone's behavior to the same degree. Well, I mean, but that's also true even with the sound. Some people will be more bothered than others. Someone at my age won't even hear it, probably. So, I can hang out there forever, but I'm not the problem that they're trying to address. So yes, so there's variation, but there's more variation given that we know that the response to odors is largely based on our own experience. Then it requires an individual to have had an experience that deems that to be a malodor. Now, I will also say that in many contexts, even the introduction of a chemical that has an odor, but that you can't see the source, can be a source of concern, right? When we walk even into a familiar environment and all of a sudden we smell something that we didn't recognize and probably think shouldn't be there, we're on alert, right? We may actually leave the environment because we're worried about what that represents. So there is also that element of unknown exposure in using any odor as a non-lethal weapon. But still, you want to target something that people are going to find either unpleasant enough that they'll leave, or that they won't even go into an area that will somehow alter their behavior in a non-lethal way.